Hey guys, I want to take a minute to talk about the downside of using loot keys. Loot keys were recently introduced. It's a really nice, fast way to use your energy and collect hero tokens, but there are some downsides to using them as well, so I thought we'd talk about them here. One of the first ones, one of the biggest things, is that you don't get any experience for your heroes. So no one in your kind of core campaign mode team is going to get any experience there, and the higher level you get to, the more experience is kind of the limiting factor for keeping your teams up to the max level. So that's a really important aspect. It's difficult to get enough experience potions to keep very many people up, so effectively if you use the loot keys regularly, you're going to shift down from being able to keep, say, 6 to 8 people up to the max level to maybe only like 5 people up to the max level. So that's an important thing to remember if you're going to use them a lot. Now I'd say still use them when you're low on time or something, you need to collect hero tokens, you've got other stuff to do. That's still a good time if you weren't going to use that energy anyway, but just keep that in mind as a trade-off. Another key aspect, you're not going to get treasure rooms when you're using loot keys. So basically the biggest thing from that is that you won't collect tokens for Lupina. That's the only way you're really going to get anything for Lupina. It's a really good character that can be powerful, but very hard to level up. It takes a really long time to increase the star level. The only way you can do it is by running lots and lots of dungeons. So if you're using those loot keys, every time you're missing out on an opportunity, a chance to get Lupina out of one of those treasure room chests. That's another one. Almost all, if not entirely all, of the daily quests that give you gems require you to actually go through each one of those dungeons. The loot keys don't count towards those quest completions. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Okay, this epic quest for Dungeon Defiler, you get the 10 gems after beating 20 dungeons, but you have to actually go through those dungeons. And when you've got quests to do, like Cyclops, to kill a certain number of Cyclops, or defeat a certain number of sprites, or something like that, you've actually got to go through the levels. So that's another thing that loot keys are going to make it more difficult to rack up those defeats and get those quests. Finally, and this is one I think a lot of people might overlook, most people know that when your friends use your hero, that you get 30 scrolls for that. That's it's common. You get to see it in your mailbox. You'll collect them, and everyone knows that happens. What a lot of people, I think, don't realize is that every time you use one of your friend's heroes, you also get 30 scrolls. So when they're using yours, they get 30 and you get 30. When you use theirs, they get 30 and you get 30. So if you're not actually going through those dungeons, you can't use your friend's heroes each day, and you're not going to be able to get those scrolls. Now, for me, I've got like 33 out of 34 here. You get 30 scrolls for each one. That means I can bring in about 1,000 scrolls every day just by using all of my friends. And so doing that, you can bring in those scrolls really quickly. You can get another, if you go to the My Dungeon and you're running those dungeon rating, the number of scrolls you get for wins goes up with your level, so that at this point, at level 58, I'm getting over 100 scrolls, even without special events going on, for every win. And so you can do about 12 of those each day. There's every 2 hours, so 24 hours, you get about 12 of them in. That means I'm getting about 1,200 scrolls from keeping up with that. So now we're over 2,000 scrolls. Also, any of my friends that do use my character, my shared hero, then I'm also getting 30 from them. So there's a potential to get another 1,000. Now I think I get nearly that many. The actual use rate is probably, for me, for the friends that are actually using it each day, maybe around 25%, somewhere in that range. So it's less on that side. But as more and more people realize that they're also getting 30 scrolls each time, then I think more and more people are going to actually be using them. So you've got the possibility to get like 3,000 scrolls every day just from using your heroes, having your friends use your hero, using their hero, and doing all of the raiding. So you can get a lot that way, but you're not going to get it if you're using loot keys. So just a couple quick important notes on that, and that's all I've got for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching.